Hello people, and welcome to a little Cities Skylines mini-series, or scientific experiment, or mini-science series, something along those lines. Today I'd like to find out what happens when we take a regular start to a vanilla build like this. If you'd like to know how to build this layout, this is the start to my Noob's Guide series. But what I would like to do is to take this start and then slowly pedestrianize it using the new expansion. What happens if there are no roads, if every street within the suburbia is pedestrian road? What happens? I'm very curious to find out. Are the cars just going to stop at the roundabout when they get off the interchange and then walk into the rest of the city? How busy are the service points going to become when we do this? And indeed, what does it look like as well? Does it look good or is it going to look terrible? We're going to find out together. So let's find out what happens when a city has only pedestrian roads, shall we? So, there's a few things that we need to bear in mind here. I did try pedestrianizing the city right from the start, however, because they have a maintenance cost dependent on their size, it crippled the city immediately. So I needed to get to Tiny Town first of all, with a regular setup city. Okay, this is our vanilla start that we know how to use. Like I said, if you want to know how to build this, please check out my Noob's Guide to Cities Skylines, it will talk you through the process. But we're here today to find out what happens when we pedestrianize an area. So in order to get it unlocked, we actually need to paint a pedestrian area first. So it's really weird. These have a dependency cost based on their size. We have a look at Dale Avenue. You see it's 132 in maintenance cost. If we bring this district out a little bit more, then you will see that that increases to 193. So as this area grows out across the city, it's going to get more and more expensive to upkeep, which could provide us some problems. We're going to find out. So let's go ahead and grab the small pedestrian area service point. I'm going to drop this over here, and then I just want to extend it now across the highway. Okay, we'll sever the connection there as well. And then I just want to draw in a little bit of suburb here with the district tool. And then we're going to pedestrianize it, and we're going to see what happens to it. I'm not entirely sure. There is one thing I would like to have a little look at before we do this, and that's the traffic flow. So at the minute it's 93%, although it's going to be fairly high anyway because the city's not huge yet. But I want to see if we can get it higher than that. And then also the land value as well. So these areas provide pretty significant land value bonuses. At the minute everything's kind of in the middle of the road. It's neither crap nor amazing, it's just land. So we'll see how that affects it as well. Alright. Cool, so we've got the pedestrian area in. To my calculations, we've just hit Boomtown, wonderful, that's not related to the video though. Is we want to upgrade all these streets now into pedestrian roads. I'm just going to use the sandstone ones, they're one of my favourites. Keep an eye on our budget as well because these areas will become expensive, and look at that, as soon as we pedestrianize an area, several immediate level ups. See how this is affecting the land value. Ah yes, look at that, it is, it's getting greener. Almost immediately, so the land value from Dale Avenue now is $2, I guess. 194 per cell. So interesting that we're seeing an immediate increase in land value. Right? Cool. So let's carry on extending out the pedestrian road. So because we have the auto paint pedestrian areas ticked, we can actually continue to upgrade the roads in this area and it will paint out the district for us. So handy than having to do it a second time. Although for this experiment that actually could be quite bad, because the bigger the pedestrian area is, the more it's going to cost us. So I'm going to do all of this as now pedestrian area, alright. I do also want to trim off a little bit of the pedestrian area though, because otherwise it's going to be really expensive and it will kill the city's economy, so we do have to be careful. But this also needs some power as well, so we'll give a little connection there. But it's all growing up. Let's have a look at that land value again. Yeah, look how green it's getting now. That's crazy. Okay. So we're getting there slowly. We've pedestrianised this little side suburb here. And let's just enjoy the walking porn for a minute here, shall we, everyone? It's so good. So good to see so many happy walking sims. The best. Literally the best. Okay, but cool. Okay, we pedestrianised one entire half of the suburb. Our economy is still maintaining, although I'm interested to see the budget now. See that we're spending just over $2,000 on parks. That will mainly be coming from this. Yeah, 1,837 is here. Okay. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Let's now come back into those pedestrian roads and then we're going to start pedestrianising some more of these spaces. Let's go for all these roads behind. So we do want to be careful. We want to make sure that we're continually balancing all those new taxpayers that are coming in courtesy of the high land value against the actual pretty insane expenditure or upkeep of the pedestrian area itself. So I think I'm just going to keep pedestrianizing a few roads, leaving the game to play on 3 speed, and then just seeing how this affects my budget. You see we're dwindling down now because the area is getting bigger, isn't it? So we definitely want to just be trimming off some of these areas that aren't quite in it. That one's going to need to be there as well. Yeah, all this as well can be pedestrian area. We do have enormous demand for industrial. So let's go ahead and just draw in a block. This is really basic, horrible industrial patterns. It's very weird playing Cities Skylines, not putting a cute little build together, right? This is like a weird science experiment for me, but we'll roll with it. Okay, so let's just leave our budget to stabilize a little bit. Let's come back and look at our traffic stats. So it's up to 95 at the minute. That's interesting. It's bouncing between 94 and 95. And our land value is really spiking up around here now, aren't they, with the pedestrian areas there? That's interesting. Okay, but the economy's stabilized a little bit more now. We can just see the constant level ups that are happening all across the city. And I wonder if this could actually become like the meta way to start a city, because if there's no cars, there's no traffic. And that fixes a huge problem that many people have when they start the game, doesn't it? It's an interesting one. It's a very, very interesting one. Okay, so we'll keep it coming out here. Again, just keep trimming it off so we're not like, spending more than we need. And I guess, yeah, actually, what are we going to do with the highway? What's going to happen with the highway here? Usually it would extend as a highway, but it's not going to now. I guess we just feed it into the suburbs, right? I don't know. We'll have a look at that in a second. We will also pedestrianize the industry as well. We're going to see how this functions. But so far, our pedestrian area service point is got garbage trucks and cargo capacity still in it, which is great. So economy's stabilizing again. Let's go ahead and throw down some more of those pedestrian roads. So now I'm going to pedestrianize all of the suburb. All this low density residential is now pedestrianized. No more road access here. Make sure we're not overly bold with that area, because it's probably costing us a fair amount now, I imagine. 4,000! Goodness me. It's so expensive. So expensive. Yeah, so I did try doing this when like right at the start of the city with unlock everything on. But yeah, the city can't handle it. You do need to get to Tiny Town at least first to get this to work. But so far, it does seem to be working, which is crazy. Okay, I'm really eager to get this bit pedestrianized, but we just want to make sure that our economy can sustain it, of course. Otherwise, let's enjoy some more plazas and promenades, walking science porn, shall we? Yes, boys. I realise it does make some of the buildings with car parking on the front of it a little bit redundant, but you can live with it, right? Oh, so walkable. So walkable. And no traffic. Because, you know, of course we don't get pedestrian traffic, right? It's not like they get busy and they get stuck in a human traffic jam, so to speak. So the economy is stabilising here now. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, the area is already over everything here. So that's perfect. This road also wants to be upgraded too. So we'll pedestrianise the school so we can actually get garbage collection. But now this leads us into pedestrianising the main street. But I think we actually have a new tile to unlock, don't we? Yes, we do. We are playing on Gondola Islands, by the way. This is one of the new maps that comes with the expansion. You would have seen me cover it in the Everything New in video, which is on the channel as well, by the way, if you want to go check it out. Okay. But let's do something a little bit meat and potato-y, shall we, with this main road, because it's all plazas and promenades, and we should respect that. So let's first of all upgrade it all. Alright. So there we go. We now have the roundabout end at a pedestrian area, and then there's now no more road access into the, well, this side of the city, right? Also some death care as well. Do I not have a cemetery? I don't, do I? I don't have a cemetery. Okay. That's my bad. Let's go ahead and place one. And there we go. Cool. Right. So, Let's do a little plaza design, shall we? Won't be an overcharged egg video without some little designs in here at least. Cool, and then we can connect all these in so it sort of flows as, I guess, what would be the old arterial road system. I'm guessing you can't really have sort of path arterials, right? Not sure. Let's go ahead and place that school again that we lost. Just a regular vanilla elementary. And then we'll pedestrianize these guys as well. So let's remove this one just because it's not being used yet and it's really going to extend the area out, so it's going to cost us a fortune. Okay, and then let's pedestrianize this main street. Okay, cool. So we've got our hearses coming out of the cemetery. Yeah, they're going to head down and collect all the dead. Don't worry about that. That's going to be okay. Right, and maybe a few trees as well. I can't help myself. We have to detail. Let's go for some date palms maybe. Sure, 4 date palms either side will do me a job. Alright, so let's see what happens at the roundabout then, on the entrance to the city when it is fully pedestrianised. Okay, yeah, they just get out on pocket car. And then there's no traffic. It just works. It just works.
All of this just works. It's not, I'm not kidding.
Oh, I can't stand the hideous vanilla trees. Grade, please. There we go. Cool. So it works. Surprisingly enough, it works. We now just have the entire city has been pedestrianised on this side at least. And it's okay. There's no garbage issues. No one's dying. The land value is now insanely high around Dale Avenue, which has a maintenance cost of $4,500. It's coming up to its 3rd land value dollar bonus as well. And then the traffic now is 95%. 96. So we've gained a few percentiles. 97. It's getting higher. So we've gained a few percentiles in traffic, which of course is to be expected because there's no cars to cause traffic. They do a little bit of a freak out dance here sometimes, don't they, when they get out. Okay, well there you go everyone, that is how it functions. So now let's see what happens when we pedestrianize an industrial area. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go down. I think we'll actually move to Bluestone for the industrial area, right? Seems a little bit more industrial, I guess. Okay, so all of this. I guess we'll try and do it in segments again, just so it's not massively expensive all in one go. Just sort of let things level up a little bit. It's also satisfy a little bit more of our demand here as well. Yeah, I'm going to have to excuse my mass zoning everyone. I know it's not our usual vibe, but different sort of video today, isn't it? So you just have to bear with it. Okay, wonderful. So we got some warnings there that they're not in the area. That's absolutely fine. Let's just make sure that they are in the area. Okay, just make sure our budget isn't taking a massive hit, which it is at the minute. It might have done a little bit too much there. Hopefully that's going to stabilise. Let's complement those additions with some more pedestrian zoning, so we get those taxpayers in, because we are earning £10 a week. This is what I mean, like they get very expensive super quickly, so it's always a good idea to make sure that you're trimming off areas that aren't being used as part of the sort of pedestrian vibe, if you like. I've also just noticed that there is another service building here, like the water inland treatment plant. So let's just move this over here. So you see it gets a little warning above it that it's in a service area, or it can't be reached rather. Right, let's just let the economy re-stabilise here a little bit. Get some of that commercial zone in too, satisfy some of those demands. So yeah, you definitely can't plan as far ahead as you could. Just playing the game regularly, you need to expand super slowly here. Because for buildings to function on a pedestrian pathway, they have to be within the remit of the service point, which now has high traffic values. Okay, so we have a lot of high cargo traffic. So this is a point now where we want to either specialize into another pedestrian area service point, but if it's only cargo traffic that's giving us an issue, then we might as well just place the small cargo service point instead. So far, it's alright, isn't it? Guess high cargo traffic should be taken care of now. We'll wait for that warning to go away. And then let's just go ahead and make sure that everyone is fully pedestrianized. Get all these done as well. Up here too. And then we got another warning here. Yeah, so here we go. So this warning is that it cannot be reached. That's absolutely fine. We will move you over here for right now. Should be able to be reached there at least. Okay, and then let's just trim off this one. We'll lose this industry. And then we will just upgrade this into pedestrian road as well. Okay, which should give us a fully pedestrianized area. So already we're noticing that these industrial firms are having garbage pile up. So why don't we see if we can fix that? Let's go ahead and place in a landfill site over here. They are maybe a little too close toward the residential there, but should be able to bear with it. It's not like it's a functioning city, right? Okay, so let's just see what happens. Still have high cargo traffic supposedly with 5 trucks in use. So maybe we need more cargo traffic instead. So what I am going to do here just to help the traffic flow is to actually just upgrade this into a little one-way network because it is backing up a little bit. So I think if we to just draw in a one-way flow system here, this should help alleviate a little bit of the pressure that's actually coming through this road network. They can circle around and then come in and out because they're trying to back up onto each other and it's not having a nice time. We'll see if that fixes it. The garbage in the industry is very erratic. It's not nearly as indecisive as the main area here. This one is suffering 0 problems, but the industry doesn't like, or at least seems to have issues with garbage collection when it's in a pedestrian area. Interesting to know. Oh great, even the cargo service point has garbage now. Wonderful. Hopefully these trucks are coming in to get it. And they're returning to their recycling facilities here. Okay. So that's helped the traffic at least. We'll be back when we can afford the large point now. So garbage has piled up significantly. The high truck values continue to sort of ebb and flow. I think I'm going to place in a garbage service point, which just needs to be wrapped within this pedestrian area. And then also we're going to do another small cargo service point as well. Find a place for this one. There we go. Let's make sure it's in the same area too. So yeah, the industrial area does not like having garbage collected. So I'm assuming this is because our current pedestrian service area point, this was at 3 out of 3 garbage trucks a minute ago. And this one's now at 0 of 5. So we seem to have lost the demand. Oh, there we go. Now it's being collected. There we go. Yeah, because we can see them coming out of here. Okay, yeah. So it was just a service point pressure issue. Placing more service points has fixed the cargo, as we now have 3 small cargo points, and then a new garbage point has fixed the garbage problem. So there you go. It is important that you keep on top of these service point areas, otherwise the pedestrian area won't work. It will not work. So the last thing I'd like to do here before we wrap things up is just to have a little play with what happens when we sort of draw out a pedestrian area together. And then I want these roads here to become pedestrianized as well. Okay, we don't actually need these to be within the district because there's no buildings on them. So we can actually delete the district there. It's going to save us a little bit of money. Yeah, so no, don't forget, you only need the pedestrian area on the roads where there's buildings. You can have pedestrian roads without buildings on, and they will still function. So I'm really keen to see what happens when we just pedestrianize the end of a highway. What's the AI gonna do? Nothing, apparently. Nothing. No one wants to use it. No one wants to come in this way. Same as well, no one is pocket carring back out of the city either this way. They're all just walking to their jobs in the industrial area across the highway. Oh, we've eradicated the issues, apart from a little bit of low worker demand, but we've got enormous residential demand, so we can fix that. But yeah, we managed to do it. There's a little bit of oh, there you go. That's an interesting one. Not enough raw materials. Okay. So that's going to come under a cargo delivery, isn't it? I guess it's just going to have to wait to come into this point to get its raw material delivery. Yeah, like there's tractors importing raw materials for us. There's oil trucks there as well. There we go. So it does come in slowly. It does get ticked away. It's interesting though. just to see how Cities Skylines, which has been so used to having roads everywhere for the last 7 years, can now function pretty much perfectly as a fully pedestrianized city. It's really cool. It's really cool. So no roads, so no more traffic. Let's take one last look at those stats. So the traffic now has actually gone to 84. This will be because of this though, won't it? Yeah, it's just a little bit of idiotic traffic AI just pausing where they don't need to pause on the road. Traffic manager would sort this, of course, but yeah. Oh, there we go. We had a truck die on the road. Are you okay? There we go. Now it gets in. Yeah, so it's a little bit busy, isn't it? It's a little bit busy, but definitely, you know, you can formulate these service point areas to handle more traffic, and we certainly will. But then it works. There's roads, pedestrian streets, lots of walkability. We're getting no abandonment. Service points are choking a little bit, but it's a fairly large town now, so it probably would start to choke. But we will leave it there, guys. Let me know if you'd like to see any more experiments with plazas and promenades. I think we will keep this mini-series going. And just try out some of our regular ideas, try out some of your guys' suggestions as well. Please leave them down in the comments below. Is there anything that you want to see sort of experimented with pedestrian roads, maybe like a transport hub? Maybe we can do something like that and just see how it performs with pedestrianized areas, or maybe some sort of industries DLC stuff, maybe a factory. Does that work? Who knows? We don't know. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. It's all up for exploration, of course. But yes, please leave me likes, comments and shares below. If you enjoyed the video, it really helps bring more people to my channel. Even as much if you haven't enjoyed it, then please feel free to leave me a dislike as well. But as it turns out, we can pretty much fully pedestrianize a town in Cities Skylines while still maintaining a profit and our demands, and not having any abandonment apart from just some high residential demand over here for the workers. It seems to work. But I will shut up and I will leave it there. I'd like to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.